Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. Today I wanted to say happy birthday to Prince George, and I also wanted to say congratulations to his parents who make royal parenting look so easy, whilst other royal parents make parenting look so hard. Yes, I am talking about the Waleses versus the Sussexes. And I wanted to take a moment today to have a look back on how things have gone so well for Prince George and the Waleses family in general versus the turmoil that has become the lives of Meghan and Harry and their children. Let's go. So first of all, this lovely photo has come out of Prince George on his 10th birthday, taken outside of Windsor. And this picture was taken by not his mom. She has taken pictures of him on his birthdays in the past. Princess Catherine has. This picture has been taken by Millie Plinkington. And as you know, his royal photographer has also been Matt Porteous from Jersey, who also photographed my son. I have to always say it because, I mean, it's a big bloody deal, isn't it? Anyway, I really wanted to talk about how well curated his upbringing has been, how they have eased him into his royal role. Insiders from the royal family have said that he does know that he's going to be the future king, but the idea is not at the forefront of his mind right now, if you know what I mean. They have made it so that he is enjoying his life and you can see he's very well-rounded. I wanted to look at Wimbledon because I watched Wimbledon. You know I'm a big fan of Wimbledon. And I noticed all the faces of Prince George. He so easily expresses his emotion. You know, he's shocked, he's excited. There was a moment when Djokovic slammed his racket against the net and you saw the reaction from Prince George. The camera panned to him and also his father telling him like, hold it down, hold it down. But they are really easing him into this stiff upper lip. I don't know if he'll ever have it, but he is definitely a child after my own heart because I can't help my facial expressions either, as we know. I want to talk about the fact that his privacy was very much important to Princess Catherine and Prince William. The couple decided to raise him in Anglesey in North Wales, where he lived in a farmhouse for his beginning years. And much like any other family, I guess, Prince William decided to take a job out that side so that he was able to walk around normally and talk to the farmers. And William was able to stop at shops and buy him sweets. And it seems like a very idyllic childhood, but a very thoughtful choice of where to raise him so that they could feel calm, protected, safe, and like nobody made a big deal of it. Do you know what I mean? Then they eased him into Cambridge after that. So he was eased into a more cosmopolitan life and finally back into London. But he does go to school out in the country at Lambrooks and he's enjoying that immensely. They have been very careful because of William's upbringing with his mother and his exposure to the paps and whatever. Let's face it, it was a lot. It was a lot. Catherine was not raised that way. So they were very mindful to blend these two upbringings and make it a very peaceful life for Prince George. Which begs the question, why was it so difficult for Meghan and Harry to figure out a way to do the same thing? We all know by now that the worldwide privacy tour is, in a nutshell, a way of saying, look at me, but don't look at me. Why couldn't they figure out a place in Wales, Jersey, Channel Islands, anywhere in the world? By the way, they had a choice of any Commonwealth country. They could have come to Barbados, where nobody would have cared, really, because, well, okay, their excuse was, let me just say what their excuse was first before I go in on them, okay? Their excuse was, as they said in the documentary, that everywhere they went, they leaked that they were going there. And so, of course, they would not have had the privacy that they really wanted. I'm sure they could have found somewhere in New Zealand. Let me speak about Barbados. In Barbados, we pride ourselves as Bajans, as we call ourselves, or Barbadians, however you want to say it, as not being starstruck. We like that we don't get all fussed and flabbergasted over stars. And that's why a lot of stars from the UK especially enjoy coming to Barbados, because they know that the staff and the people around them are not going to freak out and be like, hey, we have this person here, come over really quickly. We pride ourselves in being aloof to that. Most of us, anyway. Here's a little story time. I was living a few houses down from Simon Cowell in Barbados on the beach. I was in more or less a beach shack and he was in more or less a mansion, but neighbors nonetheless, right? So anyway, he came out on the beach for a stroll with his son, Eric, and his wife. And I ran out to take a photo of him because, you know, Leilani had to go out to get a photo. I live there. So if I'm on my property and I'm taking a photo, it's no big deal. So I go to my gate on the beach and I turn the camera this way to get a photo. But there's a gentleman on the beach who's having his lunch break from work. And you know what he said to me as Simon Cowell and his entourage passed and I'm taking the photo? Do you know what he said to me? He said, "Are you trying to take a photo of me?" Like, completely serious. He was not being sarcastic. He was not joking. He was like, actually like, "Are you taking a photo of me?" I was like, but who are you though? Do you not see that that's Simon? I said, "Do you not see that Simon Cowell right there that just passed you?" He's like, "No." And I just don't believe him because there was just this huge entourage. There was security guards and everybody following that. Like, how did you not? I mean, you coming here on this particular beach for your lunch break, you must know that celebrities are around the place. But he was completely unbothered by Simon Cowell. In fact, thought that I was bothering him, trying to take a photo of him. So that's just to give you sort of the climate of Barbados. We don't really tend to care about celebrities. They could have gone there. In fact, they didn't even have to live on that beach. They could have lived inland in Barbados where nobody would have really cared at all. I mean, and done so much for the Commonwealth, by the way, because that was what she professed that she was going to do. She said, "I'm giving my whole veil in the Commonwealth, tribute to the Commonwealth," she said, "I want my veil to be, because I'll be working for the Commonwealth." Lest we go back in time and know that she actually always identified as a white woman and she auditioned for white women roles and she also put on school applications and so on that her race was white. Lest we forget that when she came to United Kingdom as Harry's girlfriend and fiance, no one knew that she was of color. No one knew that. And I wanted to address that really quickly. I just want to get that out of the way. It's a very tricky conversation to have, but I just wanted to say, as a woman of color who lived in the United Kingdom, Meghan Markle was never seen as a woman of color. She was, however, seen as an actress. And what started to happen was that people started to compare her to real actresses like Grace Kelly, who was in major motion pictures and who married into a royal family. And we sort of couldn't line up Meghan with those actresses. That's all. That's all the heat she really got, in my opinion, as I was there. I have had so many people in my comment section saying that she looks Italian, she looked like she's from Spain, and that's true. And nobody cared either way. In fact, for me, I remember clearly somebody saying to me, "Oh yes, now one of us is in the palace." And I thought they meant an American because this was an American woman saying this. But she's also a Black American. And now reflecting on it, I think she meant a Black American, but at the time I didn't get it because I didn't know she was a Black American.
I'd never in my life heard someone say the N-word. Very different to be a minority but not be treated as a minority right off the bat. Obviously now people are very aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK, but before that, most people didn't treat me like a Black woman. So that talk didn't have to happen for me.
As a parent, in hindsight, absolutely, I would like to go back and have that kind of real conversation about how the world sees you.
So in the documentary, Doria, the brains of the family, very, very clever woman, says that she didn't tell Meghan very much about racism at all because she would never have had to experience it. Meghan would never have had to experience it.
I think people mistake who Meghan Markle is. She herself said that until she became this princess, she never regarded herself particularly as Black, and that's understandable. She grew up in Los Angeles, in the most wealthy Black enclave anywhere in the United States, Parkview, Windsor Hills in Los Angeles. She went to a private Roman Catholic school, and in a sense, race was never really part of her background. And actually, you knew anybody who comes from a Black family knew that this was not her territory. When she made this supposedly incendiary claim about somebody asking about what Archie's skin color will be. Well, actually, Every black family.
Of course.
The minute that you know there's somebody coming, that's what you're speculating about. For white people, it's what colour hair, what
And by the
colour
way,
eyes. For us,
particularly in a
it's-
family, if one parent is white and one parent is black,
but the point
as
I-
in her parents, for example.
But the point I really want to make about Meghan Markle is that she had to learn to be black on the job, as it were. And I think she made a bit of a mess of it. She didn't take advice. And that's, in some sense, is why I think they've squandered the opportunity
Right.
to demonstrate something important about this country. We
All
have
right.
just very quick,
Yeah.
we have the largest uniquely mixed race population anywhere in the developed world that has come about through romance rather than coercion. And they could have been standard bearers.
I totally
for that.
agree.
Meghan comes back and says, no.
Obviously now people are very aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK, but before that, most people didn't treat me like a black woman.
You made it an issue. You decided to plug yourself as a representative of the Commonwealth because of your color or whatever. You did that to get an in with the Queen. Because what you realized is that you were very underwhelming when you got to the UK. Nobody could see that you were some fabulous actress or that you had any ideas, great ideas of how to do charity. At the time, when you were 18 months only in the UK, you couldn't figure out any way to make yourself relevant, yet you saw Catherine going off and doing all these cool things and charity things and whatever, and you felt slighted. You felt that you were not important enough. You felt that you had indeed married the spare. So what you did was you started to get jealous and angry and paranoid about being less than. Instead of trying to figure out some stuff to do, because your idea coming from Hollywood was to monetize. You had to monetize any appearances you made, darling. Don't mind that nobody would have paid you $50 to appear on anybody's red carpet back in Hollywood. Suddenly, you were so full of self-importance that you thought that it was your time to monetize. So you tried to do that with the charity book, the Muslim recipe book that you were doing. She brought her Hollywood mentality into the royal family. Another thing she did that was very Hollywood is that she decided to keep in her back pocket a race card. She looked around at these people and she said, if anything doesn't go my way, best believe I'm gonna say that the whole of these people ran around Buckingham Palace trying to lynch me. So they better give me exactly what I want. Don't mind that the George V convention said that you have to wait on the titles. Don't mind that security is only when you're doing public appearances, but you wanted it 24/7, like the bloody Secret Service, like you're the president of the United States of America, where you come from. For a lifetime, you'll have Secret Service. Like that, don't mind that nobody else is getting these things that you want. You decide that you're going to keep this in your back pocket in case anyone slights you. And unfortunately, in her mind, she thought someone slighted her. The dodgy establishments, i.e. the Christian Scientist Church, the cult leaders, they have something in their back pocket on these celebrities that makes the celebrities, they're blackmailed, basically. People in Hollywood have stuff on each other. I don't know if I can say his name on YouTube, so I'll say Ghislaine's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. They say that he had a lot of things on a lot of people in Hollywood. So that's how he got where he got, success-wise. They had to tell him yes. So the royal family, unfortunately, did not know that they had to tell her yes, that she was going to bring out this atrocious card, because they never thought they did anything that would amount to her complaining like that, like how she did on Oprah. In fact, I'm sure the royal family was hoping that she was going to do something with Oprah interesting over in Hollywood, and they were going to come and announce it on this interview where she was pregnant and probably looking forward to a new chapter in her life. I am sure they never thought that this was the time that she was going to try to blackmail them. And it's blackmail because it's all about money. Because in the same interview, stupidly, she talked about how Harry wasn't getting the money from his dad and he don't have no money, and he said he only have the money from the mother that she left him, and it's not really enough because 4 million is not the same as 14 million, which is what they bought their house for, and he was given 4 million from. Listen, it was a horrible thing. I just want us to appreciate it was such a horrible thing she did. And then just to tie it all back, if I can try to pull it all back and say that it's because I didn't have the privacy that I had to leave. is crazy. Because you see how Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, who by the way, really quick aside, was very upset that he wasn't at Wimbledon. And can I just say that I was too very upset that he wasn't at Wimbledon. I am acting as his lawyer, and I would just like to say we are suing. Yeah. So anyway, no, but I can understand why he couldn't be there, because I remember going to Wimbledon and all these tennis tournaments and thinking, how can children like sit through this like that? Like 3 hours of match, sometimes 5 hours of match. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And all these lovely pictures that Meghan was supposed to do. She's so spiteful. She wouldn't even do the picture coming out of the hospital, which is why that whole meme came out. And that was turned into a whole racist thing. But I did not see it that way, I must tell you, because it's a meme. And I think you might remember that in Oprah, she said that she couldn't do any photo shoots, like of the official photo shoots that Prince George has done, because I didn't have security. Say what? So I don't know if she wanted the security to flank the entire garden property of the palace so that she could sit down and do a photo shoot. I don't know when she's done all these photo shoots for Variety magazine. I mean, I just wonder what the security detail has been like for us to even get this photo. Oh, by the way, another note, I noticed that the farmer's market pap walk that she did, a lot of you told me that this is not in fact her security, but it is somebody who's a passerby who actually works for another star but just happened to be there. But you have to understand again that in the articles I read, they said this is her security guard who is keeping a safe distance from her so that she can enjoy herself. And personally, I believed it because I was like, well, she probably fired Chris Sanchez. She must have fired him because after the New York taxi hoax, the Sussexes put out a statement that they were going to retool and reassess their security detail. So I thought they got rid of him because he was doing the most, honey, if you remember. You can look at my videos on that. But he was jumping out cars and jumping back in cars, and he created a lot of chaos. So I thought they got rid of him, and this must be the new guy. Okay, wrong. Well, here we go. And I think I saw a comment from one of you saying that maybe the show should become like puff pieces on Meghan Markle and why they're debunked and why they're not true. Because instead of trying to think that they could possibly be true, you would almost err on the side of caution by thinking they're all false. I agree with that. So not to get too far off topic, we don't know where Prince George will spend his birthday. It could be Mustique, where he has spent it before, and it could be the Isle of Scilly, or it could just be home, but it will be a private affair. But as usual, they've given the people what they want, which is just a nice photo of the young boy. They are living their lives happily, and I know they're gonna have a wonderful birthday, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching me. I'm sorry I had to go. I probably haven't even talked about half the things I want to talk about. But yeah, I think that the Waleses have done an amazing job with their children and eased them into royal life so seamlessly. There are so many other royals that do not partake in public life, and they're fine and they're private, Zara and so on. So it is just a farce. And I think that, I know what I want to talk about, but I probably don't have time because my camera's going to die, but is the new post that Archwell has put up. They're promoting this leftist idea that boys should not be held up. In fact, girls should be the only ones held up. And that's their new thing. And they did that on the 21st of July, right before Prince George's birthday. Like, they always like to put out stuff right before to ruin people's birthdays, like Catherine's birthday or whoever. Sorry, I don't want to rush it. But they always seem to put out these things on Archwell, because Archwell is somehow their social media platform until like they get the courage to come on regular social media. But they know that they're so unpopular that they'll be flagged and the comments will be so terrible. But for now, they're on Archwell promoting this boys versus girls thing. And they've done it before, and I did a video on it before as well. But they have come out with a new post on the 21st, right before a boy, Prince George's birthday. Anyway, my son had a nice message the other night. He wanted to say that,
"Hi guys, it's me, Valentine. I know you guys like the royal family, and I really want to meet George. But yeah, I'd like it if you guys would subscribe. My dream is to beat her." Her.
He has a channel on YouTube and he's making videos. He's talking about life in Jersey, life in Barbados, and all his adventures. And he really wants, if any of you have children, grandchildren, or anything that would be interested in watching his channel, he's quite good on camera. As you know, he has played in skits with me before. So if you don't mind subscribing to his channel. It's called Valentine's Playroom, and I will link it down below. Also, another shameless plug I have to give you is please buy my slippers. They are selling like hotcakes, and they're only going to be selling for a month. So please hurry up and buy them if you like them, and you can always put your name on them as well so that we are besties. Make sure that you have a look at the website and see if you like them or if you don't, but they are very comfortable and I can't live without them. I literally wear them all the time. But I do have more videos coming up, especially on Princess Catherine. As I went down this rabbit hole talking about Prince George's life, I found out some really exciting things about her that I wanted to talk about. So please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell notifications. And yeah, also like this video if you did like it so that we can be in touch. Yeah, just stay in touch with me. All right, lots of love to you. Bye, love you.